I'll read back a little bit here. Okay. Sully smiled. She then looked at the article and read, a deadly pileup occurred north of Twin Falls, Idaho, resulting in a gas tanker truck losing control and crashing through the railing before falling to a fiery death at the bottom of the Snake River Canyon. Holy Toledo, shouted Daniel. Read on. Sally read on with, the deadly car and rig destruction occurred when drivers saw a shootout between Twin Rivers police and possible drug dealers on the east side of the highway. Daniel broke in with, drug dealers in Twin Falls? Sully then read, a four-wheel drive patrol car was hijacked by some of the suspects and driven off the edge of the canyon rim rather than possibly risking capture after another hijacked patrol vehicle was hit with many state trooper bullets. It's still unknown if any of the suspects survived the plunge into the canyon. 7 state troopers were reported killed by the men in the hijacked patrol vehicles. Wow. Big wow, said Daniel. It's like over 1,000 feet to the floor of that canyon. Man, that must have been something to see all that. Well, I bet none of them survived such a plunge. Sully read on with, the body of a man was spotted by the lone police helicopter in the area. The body appeared to be shot to death and was found near the top of the canyon rim, possibly due to a run with suspects who helped cause the pileup with having a shootout with the state troopers. Daniel said, any description of the man? Any description of the man? Sully checked and said, none. Well, said Daniel, if I stayed at that Love's, I might have been a part of all that. Sully then looked down and said softly to herself, maybe you were. Daniel then said, you don't have to read it anymore. I don't think another article topped that one for a while. As Daniel fiddled with the radio, he said, your rescuers left you in the lurch. Do you see what risk they would have put you through if you carried out their orders? So I looked a little leery and said, yeah. Sally looked a little leery, then said, when you were out there putting on your chains, I text messaged them. I told them that I shot you 3 times at point blank range and that the bullets had no effect on you. Daniel kept trying to scan for the news station. He sat back as he continued to scan the road ahead of him to see if his Islamo killers were approaching, and asked, you told them that? Sully then said, I said that like missiles not hurting Israelis when fired at them from Gaza and Egypt. You came out totally unscathed as well. When I told them that, they said they'd stop on the side of the road and wait for you to bring you to me, where they will then kill you and take the flash drive themselves. Daniel smiled and said, Muslims are very superstitious. Leaving out the part about my pressing myself up against the wall and letting the bullets shoot past me might make them think supernatural forces are protecting me, like the way Israel is being protected by God. I wanted to scare them by leaving that out myself. I mean, I didn't know you were holding on and up against the wall like you claim. Maybe you are invincible? Daniel smiled and said, I'm just a man. But if God wants me to be something more, then I'll be that. Still, though, I think you did something good by leaving that part out. Let them think I'm something special. By the way, I think it was great of you to bring up the fact about Israel. The fact that Israel has survived and won so many wars against the Muslims and is even in existence now flies completely in the face of the Quran that says, quote, "And never will Allah grant to the unbelievers a way to triumphs over the believers." And it contradicts, "O messenger, rouse the believers to the fight. If there are 20 amongst you, patient and persevering, they will vanquish 200. If 100, they will vanquish 1,000 of the unbelievers. For these are the people without understanding." And yet, those Jews in Israel, without understanding, kick Muslim patootie whenever they are attacked by Muslims who are far more in number. It's not the death of Muslims I'm cheering on here. It's the actions of Israel that disprove the Quran further in making it the evil lie it is. Sally cringed at what Daniel said. She then went back to reading the journal of Niles Neville. She put her fingers on the scroll button and continued to scroll down until she saw the word mosque flash by. She went back to it and started reading it to herself. Niles wrote, saying, "It's amazing how much attention I'm getting for becoming a Muslim. Possibly, possibly because I don't fit the stereotype of what a Muslim is. I'm the outsider proving the greatness of Islam by becoming a believer. I hope all this attention doesn't go to my head. It should only go to Allah. Of course, ever since I posted that one video on the net and let my brothers and sisters in the mosque know about it, man, it's like I'm some kind of superstar. This is strange. Strange and cool. Kind of makes me not care about putting my ass in the air 5 times a day every day to keep my skin from being burned off in hellfire. Well, if they can do all that with no complaints, then I won't either." Sally scanned down and stopped it again, where Niall said, "Man, the Imam sure had a negative speech against the Kafars and Jews today. Who knew people who seemed to love and care about you so much could secretly be so evil? He talked about how Christian Andrea Yates drowned her children, and how there are so many Catholic priests diddling little boys. I mean, he really laid it into Christians and Jews and proved how evil they are. But are they that evil? But are they that way?" Sally scrolled down and stopped it again. Niall said, "In the mosque today, we practice fighting skills. Although Israel is seen as evil, we are actually practicing one of their martial arts they are noted for. I seem to be a natural at it. When I was asked if I was ever a Navy SEAL due to the way I handle myself, although I wanted to lie and say I was, I realized that I, as a Muslim, have to be truthful, and said, no, I was just a nerd in elementary school, and that nerds who are picked on have a tendency to get all martially arty." They laughed. Silas scrolled down further and Niall said, "On YouTube, I came upon a guy known as Christian Prince who has a YouTube account called Allah a Leg. He was saying evil shit about Islam. I think he's proof that Kuffars are evil liars, saying satanic shit about Allah's religion." Sully scrolled down further. Niall said, "According to Christian Prince, Muslims can lie due to something called taqiyya, or however you spell it. He took a scripture from the Quran, Surah 328, and tried to show how it allows us Muslims to lie and deceive. I think he's reading into things, I hope. I'll check it out further, this taqiyya thing." Sally scrolled down further a bit, and Niall said, "Well, guess what I found out today from the part from the part-time imam. Muslims can lie. He tried to smooth it over by saying only in war, between friends, and with the wife. When he said that, I felt myself turn more white than I am because, well, if you can lie in those three things, tell me, when are you to tell the truth? Am I being lied to about other things from these imams? Is Israel and Kafars as evil as the Quran and Hadith make them out to be? Allah, don't make me doubt you. Sally pressed the button and watched the days and weeks pass by. Then she stopped it. Niall said, well, it's been a while since I last wrote. Since I last wrote, my questioning of the so-called Muslim scholars has continued. It seems that I'm becoming more and more upsetting to them with my questioning. I have interesting news to report, though. The most popular imam of my mosque thinks I'd make a terrific husband for his daughter. Trouble is, well, guess how old his daughter is? She's 11. Not only is she 11, she looks 9. Very pretty little girl, but come on, folks. She's a child, for crying out loud. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel a bit trapped here. When I told the imam that I felt a bit uncomfortable about marrying a 9-year-old looking girl, he told me that the day is coming where Islam will rule and there will be no problem with marrying even a 2-year-old girl. I kid you not. That Muhammad Paba married a 6-year-old and consummated the marriage when she was 9. And that Muhammad is the example for that which we are to follow. When he told me that, I asked, I thought you told me that Muhammad's child bride was really 16 when he married her, and that he consummated the marriage when she was 19. His answer? His answer made me think, oh my, what the hell have I got myself into? For he said, Aisha, Muhammad Paba's child bride, is only in her teens to non-Muslims in America, where we really know she was under the age of 10 for us. God, what have I got myself into? Well, I don't know what to do here. If I marry this cute little girl, I'll look like a pervert who will be arrested. If I refuse, then I'll take flack from my Muslim community by making it seem that I think there is a problem with Muhammad Paba. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm in one of those crime movies where the undercover cop has to prove to the mobsters that he's really in the mob and not a cop by killing a cop. What should I do? Well, to get out of marrying this little girl, this little angel, and keep from getting killed in prison for looking like a short eyes, I tried to tell the imam that the reason why I'd have reservations about marrying such a young girl as his daughter is because to do so... Sally quit reading Niall's journal when Daniel quickly started slowing the truck down, making her almost slide to the edge of the mattress as the brakes of Daniel's rig squealed. Uh-oh. What do we have here? Asked Daniel, staring out of the windshield, looking out into the distance down the road. Sally looked up from the bunk and joined Daniel in his staring. There, out in the white, cold, barren bleakness, was a black Kenworth truck stopped on the side of the road a quarter of a mile away. There was no trailer with it, and no red triangles put out to show any sign of distress. With its 2 silvery Kenworth smokestacks on its 2 sides, it looked to Daniel like a big black horned dragon head waiting to devour its prey. This doesn't look good, said Daniel, feeling fear. Not good at all. Sally didn't say anything, but it's them.